This is one of 85 fires sweeping across central and southern Chile. There aren't enough firefighters to deal with the crisis on this scale. The fires have been fueled by strong winds and a heat wave. They cover an area twice the size of New York City. Last week, the government declared a state of emergency, but Chileans say it hasn't done enough to help them. Some confronted President Michelle Bachelet as she visited the affected areas. In the town of Santa Olga, 1,500 homes burnt down on Wednesday night. The fire service say they were forced to abandon them to save their own lives.
We have always had forest fires, but they last a few hours. These fires have lasted more than 10 days and are spreading from village to village.
These are the blaring winds, some near 60 miles an hour, that tore through cities south of Dallas today, knocking down power lines and cutting the lights.
Lost power.
Drivers taking cover at this gas station were hit by falling pieces.
Oh! We just got hit by a roof.
A dozen reported tornadoes touching down from Georgia to Mississippi and Alabama, killing 4 people in their trailer when a tree came crashing down, splitting it in 2. In Jackson, Alabama, more than 6 inches of rain fell in just 4 hours. In Florida, rising rivers and overworked drainage systems just could not keep up with more than 11 inches of rain. Residents are now cleaning up in Pensacola after strong winds tore through the area, leaving dozens of homes there damaged.
It is snowing this morning from Texas and Oklahoma all the way to New York and parts of New England. Almost the entire nation in some sort of winter weather alert.
Wild weather from coast to coast. Icy roads and freezing temperatures causing a messy commute in Pennsylvania. In the Midwest, a wintry mess. Whiteout conditions in Michigan. In the West, bitterly cold temperatures combining with heavy squalls. Storm totals in some parts of Colorado could top 2 feet. In California, 10 to 15 inches of snow and driving rain.
Whiteout conditions blasting parts of New York State. Some residents digging out of over 2 feet of snow. In Buffalo, a graveyard of cars on the road. And in Nevada, near Reno, 2 people were rescued from an avalanche.
In Nashville, more than 300 accidents in under 4 hours. Blizzard conditions in Virginia Beach. Snow blanketing the oceanfront. People are suffering through the 3rd severe flood in less than 2 weeks in Argentina's Santa Fe province. In total, they've had up to 800 millimeters of rain in a month in some parts, more than the region would normally get in a year.
heavy rain and flooding completely cut off the top of the South Island from the bottom.
A lot of rain, most rain I've seen here.
The unusual summer storm slammed the west coast overnight. From the air, these photos show just how swollen the rivers are. Roads and farm sheds are hidden beneath deep flooding. The local racecourse has been drowned under a lake of water, and the swollen Grey River is full of flooding debris.
Violent storms left 330,000 homes in France without power.
The strong winds took some by surprise.
These are really exceptional conditions for us.
With 37 departments on orange alert and 5 on red, the Brittany coast felt it first. 130 km/h winds and violent waves.
A storm surge has caused major damage in northeast Germany. Cars were swept away and streets inundated as Storm Axel battered towns, cities and beach resorts, causing what's said to be the worst flooding to the country's Baltic coast in a decade. It's not for the faint-hearted. A big freeze is gripping parts of Europe at the start of 2017. A severe cold warning has been issued in Finland, where temperatures today could plunge to minus 40 degrees Celsius in the far north. Heavy snowfall has also hit Bosnia, where bone-chilling temperatures of between minus 11 and minus 26 Celsius are expected in a cold snap set to last for at least 5 days.
The cold grips the Russian capital, where they just celebrated Eastern Orthodox Christmas with the lowest temperatures in 120 years. The thermometers in Moscow stand around negative 30 Celsius.
While northern Europe is used to sub-zero temperatures, the polar conditions surprised residents of Dubrovnik in Croatia, with the old town blanketed in snow for the first time in 8 years.
In Italy, at least 7 people, 5 of them homeless, were reported to have died in a 48-hour period. In Poland, where homeless shelters are full, 7 people died of hypothermia during the coldest night of the winter so far, as temperatures dropped to nearly 30 below zero. At least 3 migrants were found frozen to death in Bulgaria and northern Greece. In Turkey, heavy snow blocked hundreds of roads in the east. Istanbul woke to a whiteout after heavy snow overnight.
Much of Eastern Europe is setting and breaking their own records for coldest temperatures. The cold snap in southeastern Europe has exacerbated the situation for thousands of refugees still stuck in Serbia and on the Greek islands.
on the West Coast, growing concerns about mudslides in Southern California.
Nearly 2 feet of rain fell in a week.
Northeast of Sacramento, this road completely washed away. Sonoma County inundated for a second time this week. Relentless storms turning neighborhoods into lakes.
Homes and businesses underwater in Sonoma County, California. Heavy rains here causing the Russian River to crest up to 35 feet. At least 3,000 evacuated. And near Santa Cruz, a dangerous slide. Trapped and injured a photographer from our San Francisco station.
In Reno, Nevada,
you need to evacuate the area for your safety.
The governor declaring a state of emergency, evacuating more than 1,000 residents. In the Sierra Nevadas, this is all that's left of the pioneer cabin tree, the famous giant sequoia hollowed out in the 1880s.
It's crazy. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. It wasn't this bad.
The worst ice storm to hit the heartland in a decade. The monster storm dumping freezing rain over a 1,000-mile stretch. 16 states now from Texas to Pennsylvania in the storm zone.
The coating of ice snapping trees and knocking out power to thousands.
The ice reaching up to an inch thick in some parts of the country, coating everything from sidewalks to cars. Watch as this car hits a patch of black ice in Kansas City, sliding at least 100 feet down the road through a red light. Countless close calls Sunday, like this highway trooper quickly maneuvering out of the way to avoid a collision with a semi-truck. Here in Nebraska, dangerous icy roads causing these two semis to collide in a fiery crash on Interstate 80.
The southern side of the storm spawning tornadoes. A big rig driver spotting this funnel cloud in Houston. At least 30 homes and this skyscraper damaged by storms in Dallas.
In Portland, Oregon, more than a foot of snow paralyzing the city, forcing drivers to abandon their cars.
Portland hasn't seen anything like this in modern history. Schools and businesses shut down and the entire downtown littered with fallen trees.
Reported twisters from Louisiana to South Carolina, at least 20 people killed, thousands of homes destroyed.
The city of Hattiesburg, Mississippi, devastated after a tornado destroyed homes. Winds reaching at least 136 miles per hour. This church ripped apart, only the brick walls left standing. The same spot hit by another tornado 2 years ago. And the campus of William Carey University destroyed.
In Adel, Georgia, debris strewn everywhere after a tornado strike. The remains of what were once family homes. At least 7 people killed in this small town alone.
A deputy coroner here in Cook County told us this is the worst damage he's seen ever. You see that tree line off in the distance there? There's supposed to be mobile homes lined up all the way down to that tree line.